dear friends. On our today's Dharma Vibes Jai Shri Ram series, I'm talking to a man who has intrigued me from very many years now. Chennai-based artist Keshav Venkataraghavan is known to many, many people. Our daily prayer, at least, starts with his Krishna for today. He's been making Krishna paintings over, I think, two plus decades now, and every day there is a Krishna, which I think with through network of friends and WhatsApp and social media must be reaching millions and millions of people. A prolific artist, very well known. Professionally, he was a cartoonist with the Hindu, and somebody who is still so deeply connected and rooted in spirituality is something that is really wonderful. When I went to his house is like a shrine to Krishna. There are paintings, huge canvases adorning the walls, but there was one which caught my attention. In fact, there were two which caught my attention. One was the Pattabhishekam of Sri Rama. That was a very, very unique painting. And the other one was the Sundarkand, the entire imagery of Sundarkand, the story narrated in one single canvas. At that point of time, I had asked him, and he said that while Krishna remains my obsession, but Rama is my love, my first true love. So I wanted to have this conversation with him in this Jai Shri Ram series. I wanted to scratch the surface. I wanted to know his take, his point of view, and his own mood since this momentous event is happening on 22nd January. I'm sure you will all love the conversation that I have had with him. The man is of very few words, but each word is deep and loaded with layers and layers of wisdom. You just have to unravel. I haven't been, but I hope you can. Thank you so much. Namaste, Keshav ji.
Namaste.
Wonderful to meet you once again.
Thank you.
And of course, you are imbibed in our lives as such, because every day we are a community of people now who who get the Krishna for today in the mornings or throughout the day. Sometimes it happens so that even in the night, so like for example, if I am busy or if any of my friends are busy, then they send it in the night also. So even after 12 o'clock also, the Krishna for today goes, and there are responses that happens. In fact, now when, we were just going over this technical things, I was just sending today's Krishna to people. So I wanted to, know from you that while you've been for past 2 decades or more, you've been doing painting of Krishna, one every day at least, okay? And sending it to, I don't know now how many people must be, seeing it every day.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I understand that you are a great Ram Bhakt. So how and what, and could you just, reflect upon that and tell us also that where is this two entities, how do you strike a balance in your mind with them or in your heart with them?
See, I'll have to start since my 13th year. That was the time when my father was reading this Ramayana, and I had an opportunity to see the plates there inside the book. It had a lot of paintings on Indian art on Ramayana by one person called S. Rajam. So that was so pleasing to the eye that, as a I mean, I was drawing then. I mean, I was always drawing since childhood. So that was a constant parallel running through my life all the time. So this Rama painting was very, very important at that time. It was so pleasing to the eye. It was stylized and very ideal. So I was always looking out for that kind of art. And incidentally, we had bhajans in our home. We were staying in Hyderabad at then, at that point of time. And we had bhajans, Ekadashi bhajans, and Margadi bhajans. And so it was going on. And also this Saptaham on Bhagavatam, they used to read 7 days Bhagavatam. And single day narration of the Narayaniyam, that is also a shorter form of Bhagavatam. So these were consistently going on in our home. So I actually, without my knowledge, these things have seeped into me, and I've seen people who are doing Abhishek for Krishna, uh, uh, and I've seen them how they actually treat Krishna. That is, they hold it in their hands and admire it, and it was such a nice feeling. So those things actually it impacted in a very young age. And I used to draw. In fact, the person who narrated in Ramana, he requested me sometimes to give me small bookmarks, drawing
Okay.
Krishna.
Ah.
Okay, so those are the first things when I started doing Krishna.
Mm.
But the story of Rama was very internalized. That is, it was so near to me rather than Krishna. Krishna, the words like uh, chore and these kind of things, at a young age, uh, were pretty crude. I mean, we don't know this ras and all. They had so many other implications that we don't know about Krishna. So I think it is ignorance. Rather, Rama means there is no such kind of different way you can look at Rama. There is only one
Rama
way.
is not complex as Krishna.
No, he is not complex because he is straight. And see, even when Kripala Maharaj will say, see, Rama always stands straight. Krishna is always in Tribang only. So that is the difference between these two. They are the same. So it is like this that Rama got in. And then slowly in the 90s and all, we had no English translation. So I used to translate the Hindi from Gorakhpur Press and I used to
Okay.
write it in English. So
Ah.
as I read, I used to take notes, sketches for all the these things, right from Valmiki to Sundarakandam, Yuddhakandam, the details. These and all for nobody as such. I mean, not for somebody. It is for me to know
Mhm.
about. That's how it started. So then,
Mm.
even when I was learning from the Renaissance masters and all that, I used to have that kind of a treatment to our Rama Pattabhishekam, our
Correct.
kind of paintings and all that. So everything, whatever that style, it was targeted to draw Rama only at that time. In the 90s and up to 2002,
Mm.
it was always Rama. So then there was a change. Uh, there was because hearing Kripalo Maharaj and all other, there were other people, the Swami of Kanchi, Swamiji of Kanchi Mat, the elder one. He, they sort of put
Jayendra Saraswati.
no earlier
The Vijayendra
Chandrasekharendra
Saraswati.
Saraswati.
No,
No
Chandrasekhar
Chandrasekharendra
Saraswati. Okay,
Saraswati.
Swamigal.
It's a
So, okay, okay.
Mahaperiva they call.
Mahaperiyavar. He's called as that.
Yeah,
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah. So these people, very elders and all, they put the idea of Krishna into me because of the Bhagavatam and all that. Then you slowly analyze. Then I started reading the Moolam, the Sanskrit Moolam, to understand what it's all about. Then slowly it will lead to Mahabharata. Then it will cross-checking Upanishads. So there is Bhagavata opened up the mind actually. It was Bhagavata, I would say, which channelized my work into Krishna. So then slowly Bhagavatam and that is one epic which you have to, so many years I've spent on that. Say about 7, 8 years on just the Bhagavatam Moolam, taking notes, sketches, what exactly it is, what is the idea behind it. And there was also the symbolism which we have to understand, which is not very apparent. We know only the stories, but we don't know about the symbolism behind it. So I came across this Keshav Dongre Maharaj. He used to give pravachans in Gujarati. It was translated into Hindi, and I got a book from somewhere. I mean, in a book store or something like that. And that actually opened up the idea of going into Krishna, because we know actually what the symbols mean. So when you know the symbolism behind it, the stories don't exist. Actually, it is because it is sort of filling up the metaphor. I mean, the metaphor is so strong that you will understand it easily. For example, lifting the Govardhan Giri with a little finger, then you know that
Correct.
these fingers and all. The middle finger is Tamogunam, the ring finger is Rajogunam, and the Sattva Guna is the little finger. And that
Sattva
is
Guna is the
how,
little finger. The Sattva
little
Guna is
finger,
the little finger, is what you're saying.
little finger, yes.
Okay, okay.
So it is small, but it's very powerful. And that is what he demonstrates. So this is one bit of detail I'm giving, so that is how much of symbolism is there in the Bhagavata. You have to read it, and I have not even scratched the surface. It is so
You
deep.
are saying you have not scratched the
Yeah,
surface.
yeah.
Imagine.
It is. It is so deep, and it is beauty. I've heard that Pravachanakatta, who is also Andre Periva, we call him, who does this Saptahans and all, he says a person who reads the Ras Leela will become a sannyasi. See, Ras Leela is not what it is exactly about. It is much more deeper than that. So that will give you an idea of what Bhagavatam is all about. It is a classic. It is singing God's praise. That's all. So
Really.
that is. So this I came into Krishna, but Rama did not leave. I was always going for him once in a while. That was a parallel. They all say Krishna, Rama, Vamana, Nrsimha. These are all. They will always be there.
Right. So, Keshavji, I wanted to check one thing with you. And Sri Ram as an icon, okay,
Yeah.
is considered more. I mean, though he is an icon the whole of India takes him very close to their hearts. How has the South how is the South, developed in terms of the South means the southern part of India?
Hmm.
How have they? What are those, epic works that has happened from the southern part of India for Rama? How
Hmm.
Rama has been so there is a. I think it is because of the political, situations that Rama is considered more of as a northern icon. But how and southern India has always remained not. Is it that they have not remained too vociferous about Rama, or there is a lot of epic works that has happened also on Rama from the southern part of India, which we are not aware of, which you can speak to us about.
Yeah. No, it is not. That is a misconception, because there is a lot of Rama here also. It
Mhm.
is not that in the temples there are, in any temple you go, there is Rama. Not only that, Rama has walked all over the country. He has walked all over. He has walked Andhra. He has walked Karnataka. He has walked Kerala, Pampanadi. Everything is there. Sugriva is there in the south. So everything is here. It is not that, and Rama is the only identity for all of us Indians. It is not the rituals or anything which unite us. It is Rama which unites
Okay.
us.
No.
Okay, there are lots of Rama temples here. In fact, the Ranganatha, which is worshipped here
Correct,
in
correct,
Srirangam,
correct.
is
Yes.
given by Rama himself to Vibhishana. It was worshipped by Kausalya.
Okay.
Yeah, so when the wedding happens for Sita, they come first and they do this Abhisheka to Ranganatha, and then only they start their living. So it is there, like it was daily worshipped in Dasharatha's palace.
Acha. I see.
It was
See.
there.
Uh-huh.
So this Ranganatha Rama and is walked in that Rameshwaram. and then crossing Lanka from that Dhanushkoti.
Exactly.
It is
So,
all. It is all. Rama is always present everywhere. They cannot. I mean, and the Vamana also they say is from Kerala. It is not that
mm,
he is throughout the. His one step covered the entire earth. So
yeah,
all
he then
these
in
and
that
all
case,
it is.
he belongs to the
Uh,
entire earth. Yes,
and
yes.
also Kamba Ramayanam is very famous.
Correct.
Kamba Ramayanam was
I have heard about this text.
yeah,
Yeah.
composed by Kamba, another Tamil poet, and that was inaugurated inside the Srirangam temple before the Narasimha, that what you call sanctum of Narasimha in Srirangam temple. It was what you call the launch. It was
I
done
see.
there,
I see.
Kamba Ramayanam. So
Okay.
it is it is very equally and in fact very important for us also for Kambarama. Although I don't know much deep, I am not, I didn't read Tamil, so that's the reason why I'm out of it. Because
Okay.
that is also there. Deshika, so many poets have written about Rama. This
Hmm.
Raghuvira Gatyam is there.
Hmm.
Vedanta Deshika is our Acharya. He has written a Gadyam. It is not Padyam, it is a Gadyam in prose
Like a
format.
prose form.
So that is a very beautiful work. So many Rama is there everywhere. Bhadrachalam he is there. In Ranganatha he is Rama only. In Ranganatha temple, the Utsavar is Rama and the Moolavar is Krishna. That is how it is. The Utsavar, that is the
The Utsava Murti, you
deity.
mean?
Utsava
Utsava
Murti
Murti.
is the one which has come from there,
Okay.
from Rama. So that is
Okay.
Rama himself.
Rama himself. Okay.
That
Okay.
is why he is giving royal treatment. The treatment in Ranganatha temple is royal. He is a king, and the Padma, that queen, that Ranganayaki, is a queen. You can see her
Okay.
how she sits like a queen and all that. It is there. When you
Okay.
see the,
Okay. That's
it is
fantastic.
there.
I mean, so Sri Ram is somebody
Is
who
in
is, spans the
yes,
entire
entire
uh, Kshetram of
yes,
India.
yes.
And therefore, it is probably pivotal for our history now that this temple is being constructed. The Pran Pratishtha is happening
Yes.
of Ram Lala over there.
Uh, yeah.
You as an artist
Uh,
first, and next as a spiritual person second, how do you think is of importance to us as an artist first and as a spiritual person second? If you could reflect upon that a bit.
see, this is a feeling. It is a big feeling that you are getting back Rama in that particular place. That is very important because it's almost 500 years since this case has been
500 years.
fought.
Yes, yes, yes,
So
yes.
it is a long fought case. Uh, so it is a miracle, and we have to give it the pride of place. And it is certainly Rama means victory. So you will see what is. It is very important for the country as a whole. That is what I feel. Very important for the country because Rama has set the standards. Maryada Purushottam is Rama only. So it is important. He set
So as
ideals.
an artist, are you going to do a series, like how you're doing Krishna every day? Are you doing something around Rama?
Let me see. I have got pictures. Maybe I'll tweet them or that will be there. Let me see.
Why I'm asking you is that your Krishna is very colorful all the time and very beautiful. Very, you've experimented a lot with Shri Krishna. Sri Rama, on the other hand, there are a few pivotal works of yours which are like the Rama Pattabhishekam. It's, I think, one of your epic works. And the entire Ramayana that you have, you've framed, that was another one. But most of the times I have seen, even during when you're showing Krishna for today, sometimes the Rama also comes in between.
Yes.
And he's mostly this bearded, matted hair, a Vairagi kind of a
Yeah.
Rama most of the times.
Yeah.
Keshavji, can you tell me through what inspiration this Vairagi Rama comes out all the time, or most of the times from your works?
It's like this. It is written in the Valmiki Ramayana that when Kaikeyi asked him to leave, that is when he stopped shaving or cutting his hair. Okay, and when
Okay.
he walked to Ganga, he crossed the Ganga and went to Guha. In Guha, they apply this, both Rama and Lakshmana apply this, what you call this, peoplely milk, they call it.
Which
Or
matted their
sorry,
hair.
mat, which they will matted their hair at that point.
Okay.
So they were growing like the beard. They did no shaving after that. It was only when they come back to Ayodhya they do that during the Pattabhishekam. So they were like this, and it kept on growing. Rama looked like a sage. Rama looked like a sage, and both Rama and Lakshmana they looked like a sage.
Okay.
So that is the real fact, and it is mentioned in the Valmiki Ramayana that they looked like tapaswins. So they fought and all that along with this only, with the same,
Acha, in the same
in
garb.
the same, yes, same
Hmm.
garb. Even that 14,000 Rakshas, that Karadushna and all, it was like this only. So it is very well documented, and even in Valmiki Ramana, in the Pattabhisheka Sarga, this is water from all over the country were brought in, and barbers were also brought in because Bharata also made him like that
Okay, even
himself.
he
Yes,
was in the
all
same
of them,
attire.
all of
Okay.
them. Because when he was there in Nandigram, he also was in a stay. He was staying in a hut. But actually, what happened was he built a palace in Ayodhya after in that Nandigram because the Paduka is more important for him than himself. Rama
Correct.
needed. So he established a throne for that Paduka and kept it on that.
Hmm.
So that is very important. It is there. In
Hmm.
fact, in that throne also there was a kiritam fixed on that because it is the Paduka which was the king.
So there was a crown placed there.
Yes, crown place there. These are some details. In some places you get these details.
Your work, your study of the Ramayana is quite deep, Keshavji, and but you say that you are still unraveling it.
Yeah. No, it is because Ramayana is not what we read. It is the Vedas personified. What is there in the scriptures have been concealed in it, and it is the meaning of the Gayatri mantra, the entire Ramayana, because
Really?
24 aksharas and
Hmm.
there are 24,000 shlokas. It is a meaning, and every 100 shlokas, the akshara of Gayatri, it begins with the akshara of the Gayatri of that particular akshara. So it
Will
is
you be
a
able to kind of explain it a little more for our audience, Keshavji?
no, it is see there are 24 aksharas in the Gayatri
In the
mantra.
Gayatri mantra. Huh.
So each thousand, each one is a thousand. There are 24,000 shlokas in the Ramayana,
Ramayana.
Valmiki
Okay.
Ramayana.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like that, he has because in the first Balakanda, you can see Vishwamitra, the story of Vishwamitra. It is there. It is given in long lot of detail. As he crosses the Ganga, he tells it to Rama. Actually, and that Vishwamitra is the he only composed this Surya Gayatri. It
Correct.
is
Correct. He is the
Gayatri
rishi
Mantra.
for the
Yes,
Surya Gayatri. Yes.
Surya
Yes. Yes.
Gayatri.
Yes.
So that is why Vishwamitra begins. So after that, you find no Vishwamitra in the
Oh,
Ramayana.
okay. Okay.
He has
So you.
come only for this,
Oh, okay.
and he
Okay.
gives this. He imparts this education, and he just leaves. That's all. Gayatri
Hmm.
is from Vishwamitra. And last, when he is fighting, he uses this Aditya Hridayam, which was given by Agastya Mahamani.
Agastya. Huh.
Agastya. So there was always people who come and actually he helps them, but for the world he says that these people should be worshipped. So he enacts them. Actually, Rama is the better actor than Krishna because he
He-
knows everything, and he acts so well that the people think he's really doing all this.
uh,
Krishna means he's God, he can do anything. But Rama is not like that. He struggles like a human and then does it. So that is
that
the
is why also he is
yeah,
Maryada Purushottam. So he kind of limited
yeah.
himself
So
and
we
did
should
not use his godly powers.
yeah, and that
Yes.
is why we should follow Rama, but use only the preachings of Krishna, only Upadesham. We should not like try to do what Krishna did. It is not possible.
Mm.
It is a saying that we should follow Rama,
So follow
listen to
Rama.
Krishna,
Okay,
listen to
listen to
Krishna.
Krishna. Such beautiful things. Keshavji, tell me, I mean, you have uh, you have so much immersed with Krishna and Rama. What are those qualities of Rama in today's world
Hmm.
that youngsters can imbibe? And I want to come to you from the premise that we are living in a very fast world. uh, Everybody is said to actually push the limits,
Ah,
because when you are entrepreneurs, because this is a startup world, it's a world of startups, and tomorrow this information age will only go on to become more and more advanced to different things like AI and all of that, which will take up, where you are actually becoming boundless in your limits, right? You
yeah.
are you're kind of pushing the limits in a situation like this, in a premise. This is, if our premise is, then what are those qualities of Sri Rama that you think can be eternal, at least to the, not even at least, I shouldn't say at least, but eternal into the future and even in the present. So if you could just throw some light upon this, because there are a lot of young audience who watches all these digital creations. So if we could, tell something to them.
This- Number one is uh, Ramayana should be read first. It should be read in detail. I am telling you this because the thing is, the literature is so composed that when you read it, it conjures up images within yourself. So that is
Okay.
what we should like to know. See, because each person has his own idea of Rama. Not like when you see film, what happens is they impose their views on you
True.
because the interpretation may be wrong, and
True.
we may not be able to correct it.
Okay.
But in when you read the Ramayana and have a quest, the right books will come to you, the right kind of ideas will come to you, there will be right people who will guide you along the way. The thing is, Ramayana cannot be misinterpreted, which is happening now. So I don't think that is a good sign at all. They have to read. Ramayana is meant to be read. That's what I've been trying to tell. There are a lot of ideas in the Ramayana. He has shown an ideal person, that is, as a brother, as a son, as a friend, as a person who is ruling, and in every way. So he is that is an ideal form of everything. But primarily, Ramayana is about surrender. You can see so many surrenders happening in the Ramayana. Like first is Lakshmana's surrender, then Bharata's surrender, and then Guha's surrender, and then Vibhishana's surrender. There is Sugriva's surrender. Sugriva's surrender is the most, I mean, redoubtable. I mean, because he always doubts Rama. He always wants to have evidence. See, this Rama, Sugriva and Hanuman are poles apart. Sugriva asks questions because he is not accepting Rama. In so many times, he say you use this arrow and send it across the seven shala trees, and they use this Dundubi's bones. You kick it because Vali is much stronger, and when he kicks it beyond Vali, he says that is dry now, so it is easy for you because that much is Vali's doubt. So and he makes him his friend because he's the right person and in the same position because he also lost his wife, Rama lost his wife. They can understand better. So it is a compulsion that Rama should agree to Sugriva's friendship. Actually, Lakshmana is very angry that you are uh, having a friendship with a monkey and all that. But then Rama does all that. Uh,
Hmm. So you're saying the entire Ramayana,
yeah,
the moral is of
yeah,
surrenderance.
yes,
It's a
yes.
story of surrenderance
It is a
throughout.
surrender. Yes, surrender. Sharanagati.
Sharanagati.
Everything. Hanuman's Sharanagati,
Hanumanji is,
Vibhishna's
of course.
and
He,
the Vibhishna's Sharanagati is a sort of icon. I mean, because that is a trademark for surrender. Because he leaves everything and come, and people here are not prepared to accept. He was staying in the sky. He didn't come down. With five people, he comes and surrenders. Hanuman only knows about Vibhishna because he has gone there to Lanka and seen it. Now, what happens is there is a debate going on between Sugriva and the monkeys, the senior monkeys, and all. They said, no, we should not accept him because he may be a spy. Because usually in warfare and all this, they'll send spies. It is
correct, correct.
normal.
Huh.
So what happens is they will say spies, and so many. The Hanuman also says it is better we check and allow him. But Rama, then he says, Sakrudeva Prapannaya Tavasmiti Jayachate Aham Sarvabhutebhyo Dadamyetat Vratam Mama. This is what he says. That is, even if Ravana comes now, I will accept him if he falls at my feet. That is all I require. If anybody comes as refuge to me, I will give refuge. He says he does not doubt anybody because he is all powerful and he can give you refuge. That is why it is a Sharanagati Gaya. That whole Ramayana is a Sharanagati Tattvam. And in fact, in our way of life, we treat that as a primal, those two lines of Rama, when Vibhishna comes, is always quoted. Anyone who prapannan, any Sakrideva prapannaya tavasmi, I am yours. When he says that, I accept it. So, irrespective of whether you say you should doubt him, even if he's a spy, and Yadiva Ramana Swayam, even if it is Ravana himself, I will give refuge. So, uh, surrender, the Sharanagati, which is the ultimate aim in Ramayana. That is what he proves.
Very nice, Keshavji. So you're saying that the first step is to start studying the Ramayana,
Yes,
reading the
study,
Ramayana.
internalize.
First,
See,
reading the
it is
Ramayana, reflecting
see
upon it.
there are two things. One is the idealism part, and one is the drama going behind. That is, each one leads to the other. There are people like the rishis who wants to uh, hasten the see in 11 years, 12 years of his forest life, nothing happens. The
Hmm.
devas are very worried as nothing is happening in Ramayana. They want Ravana to be killed. So they
Uh-huh.
send Indra himself comes down. These parts
Okay.
are very beautiful, and that is how he comes down in a chariot. When you see the visuals there, it is some sort of Steven Spielberg film, where he comes down in a chariot and there is a blue ray of light following his chariot. It is beautiful and it stays in the air. So these are a fantasy. So even for a person who is interested in fiction or fantasy, it is beautiful
Fantasy. Huh?
because
The genre.
for example, I'll tell you small things. Uh, Ravana takes off in that Pushpaka Vimana, Actually, that Pushpaka is drawn by mules, this white mules. So it gallops and it takes off. And it takes off, the tracks are there. These tracks are followed and it disappears at one point.
Okay.
The tracks disappear, that is, it's taken off. So,
Right.
this much of detailing is there in the Ramayana. So, it is not that any part is left out. You can always go back and read, you will find there is no gaps. It is a complete narrative.
So which Ramayana would you recommend to people to read? Because there are various versions
There
of
are, see, if you want to read, the oldest is Valmiki Ramayana. He is Adi Kavi, the first poet.
the first
Because
poet.
yeah, the first poet. Because in the first, when you see the Krauncha Pakshis and a hunter shoots an arrow, and that bird falls, and that is when Valmiki gets his first shloka. Actually, he is wondering. See, he is so angry. Something he blurted out in his voice, and there was a Sishya, a disciple called Bharadwaj, and he talks to Bharadwaj saying that, see, did you see that there is a strong alliterative kind of words? It's beautiful. That is, he is thinking upon what he said, and that's how it is the first shloka. See that his shoka was converted to a shloka. So that is
Oh,
why it is always called a shloka. It is
okay,
born out
okay.
of pain.
All right.
So that
Wow.
is Valmiki.
In fact, you should teach Ramayana to everyone, Keshavji, because
I'm
I
done
don't
with
think these kind of perspectives people can get just by reading the Ramayana.
it.
There has to be good teachers as well who can teach a. I'm not saying that this the version of the teacher is the ultimate version,
Yeah.
but it can at least trigger the inquisitive mind of the audience to
Ra-
so when the teacher opens the horizons for the students,
mm.
then the students also learns to kind of appreciate, imagine, contemplate, reflect, so on and so forth, right?
Uh, that is the I was yeah, Valmiki was the Adi Kavi, and then you have Ramcharitmanas, you have
Which
Kamba
is
Ramayana,
Tulsidas ji.
yeah, Tulsidas ji, Kamba. These are greats. I mean, there are so many Adhyatmika Ramayanam is there, so many other Ramayanas are there, and I read a Ramayana quoted by Swami Vivekananda, which is totally different.
Oh,
There are
really?
so many versions of Ramayana are there. So in Nagaland you have Meghalaya. Here also you have Ramayana. So everywhere there is Ramayana. So it is Rama is an identity for us, not a icon. I mean, he's an identity. If you're that is, if you know Rama, you are an Indian. You tell me who does not know. That
Okay.
is why this is important.
That is why this is important. One who knows Ram. But over the past so many years, because of the deracination that has happened,
Yeah,
because the kind of education system that we have had, our generation at least, not your generation, I'm saying a little uh, basically the people who are in their 40s, 50s, or who have now slightly grown children, etc., and their parents.
hmm.
Okay. They are also those kind of people who have been struggling to kind of make ends meet, work and provide for the family, society, and look at their own growth in the mundane world.
Yeah,
In a situation like this, I think we have left all our scriptures, epics, studies of that also behind,
yeah,
plus also the conditioning of the mind, where we have drawn ourselves to be this where money mattered,
yeah,
and education, I mean the English education mattered,
yeah.
and nothing else mattered. Okay, spiritual education did not matter, and all of that happened, and because of which I think we have lagged a lot behind in terms of
It's,
these things, right, Keshavji?
it's yeah, it's there, but there is no cause for despair. I'll tell you why. Because this thing is a cycle. it goes on, and suddenly it's like a, the fire. It slowly goes down. There are a few embers left. Some red thing is left. You just blow some wind into it, it will catch fire again.
Again catch fire.
That
So
is, it is required.
so
So
you
we
think
need to
this
think.
temple will become that
Yeah,
blowing of air
no,
into the embers?
the temple is a trigger.
Ah,
See, it is because Rama, now that the Rama, that euphoria is there, you have to build up on that. Not by these dramas and all, but reading into it, thinking about him, and internalizing.
what are the
So
constructive steps one can take for, say, individuals who are,
yeah,
normal individuals who may not have general spiritual, study, studies. So what are the, steps that one can take? The small steps also probably will help. What do you
uh,
think? One is, of course, reading of the Ramayana you told us. Is there anything
that is
else that one can start doing?
the one thing which is very important is nowadays the storytelling element has gone from the families. Earlier, we used to have grandfather, grandmothers,
Grandparents.
some parents, and mothers or fathers telling stories. This actually has to be brought back. There's nothing like telling a story. In fact, even in the Rama, when Rama was ruling, it was Lava and Kusha who performed the street plays on Ramana, and that is how Rama found Lava and Kusha.
Correct.
It was Valmiki ashram where they grew up,
Right.
and he composes the Ramana, and he teaches the Lavakusha. The Valmiki teaches Lava and Kusha how to recite it with music. And for example, in when the Rakshasis and all come, when Sita is guarded and all, it is full of distortions. I mean, the faces and all, he exaggerates. It is full of humor. So for Valmiki brings up his humor there because the Rakshasis and all that, and he teaches them how to perform these kind of things. There is humor also there. The only thing is, Valmiki has done everything possible. So all that we have to do is play, tell the stories. Let there be dramas on particular individuals. Let there be
You're
take two
saying more
characters,
performing
more
acts
performance.
around.
Yeah, that
Uh,
is important. There is
mm.
one Srinivasa Shastri. It was we call him. He was there earlier. Long back, he was an advocate who did a lecture series on the Ramayana. That is, he took each character separately and analyzed that. So those things are necessary where each person's greatness is revealed. Even that Sumantra's character, Kaikeyi's character, and above all, Sumitra's character, Lakshmana's character, Ravana's character. Ravana, all said and done, was a great man. You have to see the other parts of it. See, when there is an instance where he says, uh, when Agastya was giving Upadesha on Aditya Hridayam to Rama,
Mm.
in this end, Ravana had a difficult time facing the arrows of Rama. So the charioteer, what he does is he moves away from the angle. He gives a little angle, not being in the straight angle as that of Rama. So Rama was wild because that is against warfare. That is the rules of warfare. So he said, "Why did you do that?" He says, "If I have not done that, you cannot take the arrows of Rama. So I took it just a little bit so that to save you." Immediately, what Ravana does is he takes out his big pearl necklace and he puts it on the chariot. See, that is how he was. See, can you put him as a negative man altogether? There are so many instances where he's a Shiva Bhakta.
Yes,
He's a
yes.
Brahmin.
Yeah.
He did all his rights right.
Yes,
See,
yes.
there are certain gray areas, but it's not that you remove them
Mm.
altogether. Kaikeyi, she was good, but then some crooked mind. See that mantra, she's crooked by herself. That is what say. It's a lame mind.
Mm.
This kuntit.
Mm.
That is what they call.
Correct, correct. So basically, each character
Yeah.
is a symbol to
Yeah.
a host of inspiring
Yeah.
knowledge systems, actually, the way that
Yes.
you are portraying it. Each character can be
Each,
dissected
yes.
and a lot to learn from each of the
Yes.
characters. So
Each
therefore, you're
character.
saying, yeah, reading, storytelling,
Yes. Storytelling.
performing,
Performing.
so that the more you are indulging with the Ramayana, the more you learn
Yes.
about Ramayana,
Now,
right?
even music in concerts and all, what happened is they were singing to God.
Right.
The compositions like Tyagaraja, Saint Tyagaraja,
Yes.
entirely composed on Rama only. He did only
Yes,
Rama,
yes. Majorly that. Yes.
majorly.
Yeah.
So when you sing, now the music it per se is becoming important rather than what it is about. See, when you sing of Rama, you should get into that mode. Music is only a
Tool,
medium.
medium,
Now,
correct.
the music itself has become a, that is, you perform, you show your talents on music rather than who Rama was. The composition loses, where that is a big thing I find in today's that bhava. That bhava is more important than the music itself.
Hmm.
Like that, if you everything is you concentrate on the idea, then I think Rama will come back to his own glory.
Yeah, absolutely. The energy of Rama then starts, I think, percolating to the entire psyche of
Yeah.
us.
So
And
as
that's
I
the strength
say,
of
yeah,
Rama. And
it's a
Rama is a
cycle.
warrior. How do you see him, Keshavji? You've
So
seen
he was
him?
born a Kshatriya, so he is a warrior. There's no doubt about that. For
Okay.
a see, you see the sequence. Uh, you see in Bhagavata, you see the avatara. You see Rama avatar. This earlier to Rama avatara is the Parashurama avatara.
Right.
Parashurama avatara was fed up. He didn't like the way the kings were treating their people, and there was so much of adharma. So he vanquished those about 21 generations of Kshatriyas. Now, you see how what Vishnu does is bring himself as the king
Hmm.
and takes that away, that Vishnu's bow away from Parashurama
From Parashurama. Correct.
and the penance what he did.
Hmm.
Because he says, I need a target for my bow.
Hmm.
He gives his penance and goes away. See, that is why, see, he becomes a sort of a punisher in that Parashurama Avataram, and he comes again as a king to say how to rule and how to be a king. He shows if there is Rajadharma, it is him. If there is Kshatri Dharma, it is him. In Kamba Ramayana, you will find that Rama is totally broken. He loses everything, and at the end of the day, he says he is totally vanquished. Totally doesn't know what to do. Rama does not lift his finger. He says, "You are tired and totally without a chariot and nothing. Your charioteer is killed and all. You go today and come tomorrow." He says, "Indra poi naalaiva." That is a very famous saying in the Kamba Ramayana. So
Okay.
that is this grace. You fight with equanimity. That is the. He shows every way. The fighting, how you fight. Yes, with little. I mean, it's a beautiful work.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I mean, the more I talk to you, the more I'm falling in love with Rama,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah,
Yeah. There is this, typically the way that, some certain characteristics of Rama or certain character or certain episodes of Ramayana which have been told to the urban folk, is, wherein especially women, okay, they have a lot of reservations on Rama.
yes. I understand.
I'm sure you
Obviously,
understand.
yes.
Yeah, the where I'm coming from. Uh, so it to a large audience, especially people who are from the media like me, okay, and you know how media is today. You've been a media person, okay. So in a situation like this, it is very difficult to come to terms with Rama.
Yes, I understand. See, not only that, there are two or three very, very important things in the Ramana which people will not accept. One is Sita's Agni Pravesham, uh, and Vali Vadam, because he shoots it from the tree
From the behind.
and from the behind. You think Rama would have done that?
With
See,
what?
Rama, his quality does not permit that.
Correct.
So why did he do that? There must be a reason. And another thing is, uh, this is one. And first he kills Tataka, a woman.
Yeah.
In Krishna, first it is Putana.
Yes.
He never does that. See, certain thing calls for extraordinary situations. And when he says he is Maryada Purushottam, he says this is how it should have been. Forever he banishes Sita from the uh, kingdom for some Dhobi's accusation.
Some doubts
Yes,
that Dhobi had.
doubts. That is, he is maintaining standards as to how you should be when you are a king. You cannot be a family. This is what he says. You are totally meant for the uh, for what you call the welfare of the people. If somebody there should not be a little bit of blot on yourself when you are ruling. So he says he removes all kind of doubt. I know it's a big risk and a big thing to take. I'm not justifying because I do not know. Because see, ours is a mortal mind. It can think only so far. But he's the Param Purush, no? Adi Purush. He must know what he is doing. We cannot understand that because a divine idea or a attitude cannot be understood by us mortals. It is not easy to explain or justify. We have to find out why, and it is sometimes it is done. You have to accept, and there is no blot on him. If you are thinking that you are always saying Agni Pravesha, and you are going to, you will lose a big, beautiful part of the epic.
True. I
See,
know
that's
it is a difficult situation, but
I cannot justify nor deny because I do not know. Let me claim ignorance.
and I think that's fantastic, and that you, I mean, you such a great and revered man that you are, you still can openly say that I do not know. So therefore,
Yeah. No, I do not know
I I
really.
I do namaskar with folded hands to your humility, Keshavji. But yes, there is of course a lot of discussions and debates on that. We will leave that for later. Part of it says that Valmiki Ramayana is basically the first source and the main source and the core source of Ramayana, in which these episodes are not there.
Yeah.
And those
So
were later on
Uttarakhand,
added. The
Uttarakhand
later
does
on
not. It does not exist. Yeah.
it does not exist in the main text.
Main text.
Yeah, so it was later on added. So there are people who probably take certain kind of liberties, etc. So probably, one can look at, I want to mention it over here for the benefit of the audience, is that the core text does not have the
Yeah.
Uttarakhand. Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't have these episodes that we are debating on. Of course, Bali Vad is there in the core
Yes.
episode.
That-
There, of course, I still feel justified of Rama to what he has done because of the nature of Bali, where that particular entity was somebody who was debauched completely in his mind. Okay. Similar to even Ravana, who may be a great, great, great personality, but he had he was somebody who was just going out of his
Yeah.
limits, so
Yeah.
as to say, his maryadas. Okay, so I think that was justified. This particular part is not there in the text. For the benefit of the audience, I would like to
No,
say that. So if anybody wants to learn more, yes,
no, there is
yes, please.
one more thing I'd like to add. Here in I'm doing this Tirupavai series, which is
Yes.
uh, an they see Andal emulates the gopis. In that, Rama is always called Manattikiniyan. That is, he is charming to the mind. Rama is charming to the mind, like Ramayati iti Ramaha.
Ha.
Ramayati. So
Ramayati
this
iti
says,
Ram.
so Rama, it means he Ramate. That is, he is so beautiful. Uh, he is peaceful. So he is
Peaceful to
beautiful
the
to the
indulging to the
mind.
mind. Yes, yes.
So actually, when she says about Rama, there are two split in that group because some people like Krishna more and some people like Rama. So she manages both and she gets together in the next verse. So that's how Rama is so powerful. Always because he gives peace to the heart. You say Rama, everything, all your mind calms down immediately. You think the power of Ramanama is more than Rama himself.
Correct, correct. Because I belong to Varanasi. I know, I mean, in the Manikarnik Ghata,
That, yeah,
the Ram Tarak mantra is
yeah,
there. So apparently, Shiva comes and gives the Ram Tarak mantra to the dead over
yeah.
there for them to, go across the river,
Hmm.
Vaitarani, to
Vaitarani, yeah.
the other realm. Okay. If the Ram Nam would not have been that powerful, why would Shiva give it to people,
Yeah,
right? So
Taraka
I'm
mantra,
I'm sure, I'm sure all of that is there. There are these kind of things which brings controversies. One doesn't know what to choose, but I think people should go to the core text is what I feel,
yeah.
and start understanding Rama better in order to come to answers and come to terms with these
Yeah.
kind of episodes also which have been added later. Having said, you being a media person for a professional for a great part of your life, a cartoonist at that, which means that you had to bring satire to a lot of political, ups and downs that used to happen, still happens. In a situation like this, so many years back when the Babri Masjid was collapsed, uh, you as a cartoonist, how did you come to terms with that and with your Ram Bhakt nature of yours? What was the
So,
dichotomy that you had? I know if you want to kind of answer this question, please, Keshavji, feel free. And
no,
if you don't want to answer it also, you can please say that I
it's
don't
not.
want to.
It's not answering. I certainly did. Uh, the Narasimha Rao and the Home Minister actually doing Ram Bhajan there when the uh, Babri Masjid was falling down. I did that, but I would say the profession is it is a need of the profession. So you cannot keep your personal interests there. So that at that point was a political statement. See, if that is the case, even now I would say it is a political statement, isn't it? So
Yes.
uh, no, we cannot comment on that. Things happen. You accept it, and
Okay. 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 But you are very happy that the Ram Mandir is being built.
yes,
The
absolutely.
Pran Pratishtha is happening there.
Yes,
And you think that this will be pivotal into
yes,
the lives of
very good. Yes, very much.
all Indians, all Hindus,
Yes,
and all Ram Bhakts.
all Rambam.
Yeah.
More will be there. I tell you, it is a circle. We have to again rejuvenate. It will come. See, we think we are doing this. The fact is, we are part of a entire system which is wanting us to move. No, it is like Paulo Coelho's thing. Everything is happening for us for the good of the future. So we have to take it in a very positive way.
Thank you so
So
much for this interview.
okay.
And
Yes,
thank you so much for, I would not say the interview, I would say that it is a fantastic conversation that we had,
conversation.
Keshavji. I hope you enjoyed the conversation that we had with Keshavji. It left me with a certain amount of reverence, and somehow after the conversation ended, there was a sort of sthiti that came in my mind. I felt that there was so much of grounding that happened with this conversation. One of the major takeaways that he reflects upon for Ramayana, the entire story of Ramayana, is beautifully explains of Sharanagati. It is Ram's Sharanagati towards his father. It's the brothers, all the brothers, Sharanagati towards the elder brother. The Sharanagati of Hanumanji towards his ishta. And above all, the Sharanagati of Vibhishan, which he so beautifully explains. One of the major points that he says is that you need to understand Rama. There are people who come and they say that, what is all this frenzy of activities happening? Why, so much of din is being created? What is this jubilant mood? All of that understood. It is all a trend. But somewhere, to understand Rama, you also need to read the Ramayana. It should become a practice, how it used to be when our grandparents used to speak on that. So storytelling is lost. Reading of scriptures is lost. Therefore, reflection on the itihasas and Puranas and the other scriptural textbooks that we have had is lost. Then don't claim that we know God better, we know Rama better. These are the few thoughts that has left me. In fact, it has deeply reinstated my understanding, or deeply reinstated my reverence, in fact, first for Rama. I would not say that I have read the texts completely through and through, but I know the story. The stories have been narrated to me by my mom. We had the Kirtivas Ramayana with us as a family heirloom. I've gone through the pages of it. But after so many years, I want to rethink on Ram after this conversation. But before that, I want to bow down in reverence to him. Let me know what you feel in the comments below. Jai Shri Ram and Om Namah Shivaya.